So OTT Contenders 3, which took place at the Ringside Club in the National Stadium last Sunday. Awesome card. I tell you something right now. We talk so highly about the main card shows and how they keep getting better and better. Yeah. As far as the contender shows go, this was by far the best one.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to sit down to watch it yet, but
my
plan is on Sunday to watch it.
Yeah. So first match was Terry Thatcher against Michael May. Very good match to start off. Good technique from both men. Both were very good technically. I have a bit of a bone to pick with Terry Thatcher though.
Oh, okay.
And it's over the straps he wears when he wrestles. Now I noticed during this match that as the match went on, Michael May he looked like he got a bit of a small little cut on or a big enough one. It took up maybe a quarter of his back. Mm-hmm. It was like a little scar there, and I'm guessing. I'm not that it came from the metal ends of Terry Thatcher's straps that he wears in the ring.
Okay.
And it isn't the first time it happened either, because I think if you go back to the Main Stage Wrestling Kulak show, when he wrestled Darren Kearney, mm-hmm. he got a bit of a cut on his leg from it, and I'm guessing it's either from the straps or some sort of jewelry that he was wearing. So. Yeah. Could that sort of thing be dangerous worn into the ring, or depending how he applies it?
Possibly. It just sounds like it's just been a bit of a bad look, because it's
maybe.
not. It's not.
But it's 2 matches in a row. That's why I'm concerned.
It's not. It's only 2 matches he's been wearing them.
Maybe.
He's been wearing them for a while. So
maybe.
I think it's just a bit of bad luck in these 2 matches. That's
maybe.
all. I wouldn't read too much into it. Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
If anything, maybe it would look weird though if you had like a metal strap or like straps for trousers, and you put the metal parts around with tape or something like that. I don't know.
It's still metal though.
Maybe, but it would be less chance of slicing into someone, I suppose. So
I don't know. Obviously,
it's a small little issue.
It's a small issue, yeah. But as long as the people he's working with aren't complaining about it, well then
I suppose, yeah. Sure, everyone's different, I suppose. So everyone went through it differently, I suppose. In the end, it was May who pinned Thatcher after a roll up for the win. Actually, his team was class. Actually, he came out to Rocky 4.
Really?
Yeah, he came out to Rocky 4. Hearts on fire. Oh. I love that song. Now, Debbie Cattell and Harlow O'Hara took on the session with Martina and Amy Alonzi. It was funny when Martina, as Martina would rave, almost has a huge rave going to the ring, and she collapsed afterwards to the point where someone brought in the first aid kit, and Martina was given beer to revive herself after her entrance. That's so Martina. And she was given a bit of a David Starr parody of an introduction. I don't know what all the names were, but if you remember what all the David Starr words, it's basically variations of that, like the Irish cream in her coffee and stuff like that. So. Now, as funny as that was, I'm just thinking, was it necessary? I don't know. I don't know. It was funny.
It was probably just a thing that they thought of there.
Maybe. Yeah. You know? Yeah, no, yeah, it's just for me, it could be one of those things where sure, it's funny and all, and and it brings a laugh, but at the same, when you look at it in the big picture and think, well, that's his gimmick as well, that's just me, it was funny anyway. It was great technique from all 4 ladies. Harlow in particular, she had some really cool moves actually, so there's one thing where I think she rolled into where it was Amy who was facing the other turnbuckle with Harlow on the other side, and she did a roll caught her legs and put her into an SCF all in one transition. She did splits halfway through it, so some really good wrestling. The whole match though, and it felt a bit rushed. That's the only thing I will say about it though.
No, really.
Yeah, I think it was one of these things where I'm only guessing here that they're probably given a certain amount of time, and when it was catching up to maybe they felt need to rush a bit. In the end, it was Debbie who pinned Amy with her version of the X Factor, even though I don't think she was a legal person in the match, so maybe they missed one thing, and that's why it looked a bit it felt rushed, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was a good match. Other than that, technique wise, I can't criticize them at all, but it was just that small thing where it just felt a bit rushed, that's all, you know what I mean? So again, I hate to criticize, but I have to say it.
Yeah, there's always, it's difficult because there's always one or two that has to be rushed,
Yeah.
Timing's always.
I know, and again, it's not their fault that they only have this much time to work, but it is what it is. And all 4 of them raved after the match, as you would say, in the Martina match anyway. So now this was a really good this next match: Scotty Davis versus Hyperstreak versus LJ Cleary. Excellent match. All 3 men gave it a great show. LJ is such a good heel. I'm really enjoying him as a heel, because he's complaining to the crowd, he's bickering at them, it's really funny to see. I really am enjoying him as a heel. Some excellent sequences from both Hyperstreak and Davis. The improvements of Davis in particular.
Yeah.
If you see him, I saw a match from him on YouTube, I think it was the Celtic Rumble in CCW.
Yeah.
And the difference between then and now is incredible. He's really, like, he's so crisp now, it's incredible, like, you know, and he's only going to get better, like, he's still in his teens, like, so the sky's the limit for him, like, you know. In the end, it was Scotty who submitted LJ in the end by rolling him up, first of all, for a gomoplata. He got him in the leg, he got him like a leg, like a spinning arm lock, but put into a gogoplata, and then transitioned it into a Rings of Saturn submission. It was so slick. Very good win, and Scotty and Hyperstreak showed respect afterwards, and a very good match. And now, by far the funniest match of the night, the Fabulous Nikki and Team Tropicana, Captain Sexy and Aiden Apex are their names, against Be Cool and Team P.Rick, they're calling themselves now. They're obviously calling P.Rick for obvious reasons in a Contenders show. Nikki and Tropicana, they're literally made for each other. They came out with the same entrance music as well. Like, I don't know what the song was, but it was so funny.
It's not the Tropicana song, is it?
Yeah. No.
No, they don't use it. They use a different song.
Yeah, I don't know what song it was. Team P.Rick seemed very discouraged to be in the part of the match, especially when Be Cool, who I think it was originally Angel Cruz who was supposed to be in this match, but I think it was they felt very discouraged when Be Cool asked them to wear headbands as well, similar to him. So, but there were so many funny sequences from this match, from Peter and Aiden's parody of Osprey and Ricochet, where they did like cartwheel, jump, pose. Brilliant. Be Cool calling Nikki a poor man's Joey Ryan. Be Cool impersonating Ric Flair. Actually, you have to watch that because he does like the woos. He does the chops. He does that flip when he runs into the turnbuckle and goes to one side of the ring. And he also does the one where and he also did the finger four in the end, where both teams took turns at reversing the finger four. No, you go this side. No, you go this side. But the funniest thing was Team Tropicana's. They had this move called the Super Sexy Slip and Slides, where basically it's Captain Sexy who oils Aiden's back and his chest, puts on a swimming cap and goggles, and slides on his back and headbutts Be Cool in the balls. Got a huge pop.
Really?
You can put that in your minds now.
Okay.
Is that even possible?
No.
Yeah, there's also Rick and Captain Sexy having a bit of a spank off as well. With Foxy wearing the captain's hat and the sunglasses.
What is going on in these matches?
It's too funny. You're missing out, man. And this isn't a kids show. This isn't a kids show.
I know.
This is how much comedy they're able to do on a kids show.
I know. Like I said, Sunday I will sit down and I'll watch it.
You have to. In the end, it was Be Cool who pinned Apex after his brainbuster. Now, Connor Andrews against Luther Ward. Very good technical match. Luther Ward is as good as I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
Like, you know, his wrestling, his transitions is, you know, it's a shame he doesn't wrestle as often. Like, you know, like, obviously he's like outside of like he's focused for his own reasons. Won't break kayfabe.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's wrestling is as crisp as ever. Ward played the heel a bit in this match against the energetic Andrews. Mm-hmm. There's a few flaws in this match. Now I had to say, for just a few flaws. Like, I think maybe if it was tired him like from Andrews in the end. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Where like there was a 450 where he landed on his knees. He didn't feel that impact, and there was a Hurricanrana DDT where I think it didn't get that impact as well. So just small little things. In the end, it was Ward who pinned suplex Andrews, either a suplex or a brainbuster. I'm not too sure. It looked more like a suplex, because I think it was the Hurricanrana DDT. Then what Luther picked him up, them suplexed him and pinned him. That was that. So it seemed like a weird little finish, but in an otherwise very good technical match. Like, you know,
cool.
Connor Andrews, he'd probably kill me for saying this. He looks a bit like Sami Zayn.
Ha! I've trained with him before. I can see the comparison.
And it's funny because I was sitting with Nathan and Amy, and they were saying, "Oh my god, I can't believe it knows that." So, now, Scarlett and Graves. This is a fantastic match. Scarlett and Graves, the team of Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz, took on the team of Nathan Martin and Curtis Murray. During Scarlett and Graves' entrance, actually, Xavier made sure that he wasn't introduced as Secession Mott's illegitimate son, but Waltz was very happy to be called that, with eventual chants of Session's son from the crowds. But this was an excellent match. Excellent match. All four teams, especially Martin and Murray, who more than hung in there with the more experienced team. Like, you know, you wouldn't think like Nathan Martin is still inside his first year of wrestling.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy, isn't it? And he's wrestling with a guy like Desmond Xavier, who recently competed in the Bowl tournament.
Yeah.
Who had a fantastic match with Ricochet.
Yeah.
And here he is wrestling this guy, and more than holding his own.
And he's going to be on the next OTT show.
That's it now. Like the crowd chanted Tivoli to Martin and Murray at the end of the match, and ended up being the case. They both earned the opportunity to wrestle in the 3rd anniversary next week. They'll be taking on Fabulous Nikki and Eddie Dennis in a tag team match. Also, Curtis Murray only announced on Thursday that he'll be taking on El Ligaro in Belfast, so that's going to be an awesome match as well.
That's going to be a great match.
That's going to be a terrific match.
They did get to wrestle for a period of time at Wrestle Pops as well.
Yeah,
obviously in the Cereal Bowl before the unfortunate injury that he got in it, and hopefully we'll get to see that now over the next couple of shows.
But there was
Curtis Murray will get to face those people.
There was no hesitance on Murray's part. He showed, in particular, showed no fear. Like again in this match, as well. Like, you know, some of the stuff he did.
That's the beautiful thing now that OTT especially offers too as well in their show.
Initiative,
you get to work with these fantastic wrestlers, not just like El Ligaro, fantastic wrestler.
Of course.
Will Ospreay, fantastic wrestler. Obviously worked with Justy as well, fantastic wrestler. Unfortunately, who's not with OTT anymore. What you think is still a work, but
I'm not convinced. I still don't believe it.
You still think it's a work?
I just don't believe it. Like, there's something about this that just seems weird to me. Like, probably is, but like, what happened?
I don't know.
What's going on? What was there a row that happened? Like, we don't want to speculate anything. We don't want to pull anyone's hairs and think what happened or speculate this. But like, it's weird.
Don't worry. We'll get Justy back on the show. How about that?
We'll have a shoot interview.
We have the first interview since leaving OTT. You sort of.
But if he makes his debut on Sunday for Pro Wrestling, it'll probably be too late. But we'll see. Like, but as I said, like, Murray in particular showed no fear. Like, you know, he wouldn't think he had the injury. Like something like that, I imagine, would put someone off. But like, he still did flips and stuff like no current. Like, there's one awesome move he did where he did like a double arm drag where he flipped on the ropes in such a way. You have to see it. It's amazing. Terrific match, as I said. Awesome spots. But in the end, it was Wen-Su pinned Murray after an assisted standing moonsault for the win, and a standing ovation afterwards. And Xavier and Wentz gave Murray and Martin their respect after the match. Remember, you know that standing moonsault, except it's assisted. So he's on his legs, and then Xavier pushes him. It's similar to what Strowman did to Kalisto, except it landed. If that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Except he pushes him with his hands instead of his legs. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Think so.
Yeah. In the main event, Jordan Devlin versus Shane Strickland. Now, Shane Strickland is as slick as they come. Loved his presence in the ring. It was very funny because in the very start of the match, after the introductions, Shane Strickland heard someone in the crowd say, Jordan will bait you. He took his chair and taunted them and sat on the ring with the chair, eventually making him say, you're sorry. So that took like the first 3 minutes of the match. It was so funny. But this match had everything. Like, great mat wrestling, lucha libre moves, terrific spots both in and out of the ring. Yeah. There's a you've probably seen the preview of this, right? A moonsault into a Hurricanrana DDT. Like, no. he moonsaulted off the bar. Yeah. And transitioned into a Hurricanrana into a DDT and flipped and made Strickland flip that way. It was such a good spot. And a double foot stomp on it was Jordan Devlin sitting on a chair, and Strickland double stomped him while he was sitting on the chair and broke the chair. Yeah. The
last year, you could say, like this year especially, has just been Jordan Devlin's year.
Of course.
He has been fantastic.
Speaking of improvements, like he's in another universe right now.
He's main event worthy now of OTT shows.
And
he is going to be in the main event at the Belfast show.
Oh, he has to.
In the 3rd year anniversary, in the non-title match with ACH and Mark Haskins.
If he wins that match,
future title opportunity.
He has to. Yeah. The crowds chanted next world champion after the match as well. So the fans want it. The commentators are mumbling it. It has to happen soon. Yeah. But again, very unique move sets from and transitions from both men. The limb targeting from Strickland was actually very good. Like, you know, there's moments where he almost fought like he made his arm snap with some of the moves, like, and a bit of per arresto as well, like the fighting spirit bit, like with the elbows and stuff like that. Yeah. In the end, after many near falls and the odd submission attempt from Strickland and some slick wrestling, it was Devlin who beats Strickland by pinfall after his package driver, and an awesome match. I'm going to say one of the best matches OTT have produced this year. In general, if not probably top 3 if you ask me.
Interesting.
Definitely up there.
It's an interesting view to have, for sure.
In terms of a proper pro wrestling match, proper pro wrestling match which had everything. Yeah. This is it. This is you could argue this is the Irish Omega Okada.
I'll be sure to check this out.
Yeah,
I'll have to check
it's a terrific match. I can't talk about with enough high praise. And now they're heading on to the 3rd anniversary. There's no announcement yet of the next Contenders show. I'm sure it'll be pretty soon. But as I said, going back to Curtis Murray and Nathan Martin now, like they were very worthy to have the performance now going into to go in now and now challenge for the show. And I'm particularly delighted for Curtis Murray considering the injury he got, like, you know, and now he's come back and has 2 big matches coming up for that weekend. So so he's definitely one to look out for, as well as Nathan Martin, obviously. Again, it's incredible, as you said, that he's this good and he is not even his first year of wrestling. It blows my mind, and it almost discourages me from trying wrestling again, you know. So if I'm serious.
Don't let it discourage you.
Well, you know, he's his type of wrestler, I suppose.
Dave, we got to get our tag team together, so come on.
Can you imagine that type of tag team?
We'd be class.
Would we really?
We'd be class.
One way to find out.
We would. I'm telling you now, next OTT Tag Team Champions right
now.
Kings of the North are coming for your title.
If Kings of the North came... Okay, he said that, I didn't.